Hello and welcome to Select 10. Today we will be highlighting the top 10 best web series that did not receive the proper attention and recognition from the audience when they were premiered. In fact, many people are still unaware of them. In order to provide you all with something new and binge-worthy to watch, we've chosen our favorite highest-rated shows with interesting stories that every web series enthusiast should see. Now let's start the video. Number 10. The Terror. It is a supernatural horror anthology series based on the novel of the same name by Dan Simmons. The show has 2 seasons, and the good thing is that there is no plot link between the first and second seasons, so you can watch any season first. The first season concentrates on the Arctic expedition ships HMS Erebus and HMS Terror, which recently departed Beechy Island in the Canadian Arctic Ocean and headed into undiscovered regions in search of the legendary Northwest Passage and to verify that it exists. But owing to unforeseen events, the ships quickly become frozen and stuck in the chilled water, and everyone on board has to face the freezing conditions while being hunted by an unseen threat. The second season is set during World War II and centers on Japanese-American society, which is shocked by a series of terrible murders that have been linked to an unidentified demonic force. From the very beginning, the stories from both seasons generate a suspenseful tension that keeps you on the edge of your seat. The survival element from the first and the folklore concept from the second season are brilliantly merged with the supernatural and horror element to create an exciting experience. Number 9. Nikita. It is an action thriller series adapted from Luc Besson's French film, La Femme Nikita. The story is about Nikita, a young woman who was saved from execution by a covert organization called Division. Division fabricated Nikita's death for an unknown cause, offering her the opportunity to start over and assist the nation. In the aftermath, she undergoes training to be an informant and killer. However, after spending 3 years in secret, Nikita vows vengeance upon her former employers, who tricked her, and attempts everything in her power to bring them to justice and shut down Division's shady operations, while Division proceeds to enlist and educate new recruits to turn into deadly assassins. It is one of the best action thriller shows, with elements of the Bourne film series and other flicks like Mission Impossible. The action, plot, and cast are all fantastic in this series. The story is dark and full of twists, which are perfectly complemented by fantastic character developments. Even though the finale of the show could have been better, it is still a fantastic show and one you should watch. Number 8. Banshee. It is a crime action thriller series created by Jonathan Tropper and David Schickeler. The Season 1 narrative centers on skilled robber, Lucas Hood, who hides from ruthless crime boss Rabbit by assuming the name of a deceased sheriff. During this time, he maintains his illegal activities, executes his own version of justice, and makes an effort to make up with his ex-lover, who also adopted the persona of Carrie Hopewell, the attorney's wife in the town. However, after clashing with the neighborhood mobster, Hood finds it difficult to keep up his newly acquired identity, and to make matters worse, he is being hunted by the criminals he ditched long before, especially an organized crime boss who wants to exact payback on Lucas and Carrie. The show contains 4 seasons of tremendous action-packed crime drama and humor that grabs your interest from the first episode. Number 7. The Originals. It is a supernatural fantasy drama series created by Julie Plec. If you've watched The Vampire Diaries, one of the most well-known shows, there is no way you haven't heard of this one. However, if you haven't watched that one yet, don't worry, The Originals is a spin-off, so you don't need to have seen that one to enjoy this. The story centers on Klaus, the original werewolf-vampire hybrid, and his siblings Elijah and Rebecca, who returns to New Orleans to look into suspicions of a plan targeting them. After they arrive, Klaus discovers his old follower, Marcel, ruling over the people with authority, which creates conflict in the supernatural society. Meanwhile, Elijah and Klaus find out that a werewolf has been captured by a rebellious witch who holds crucial information. Later, in an effort to retake the city, Klaus and Elijah forge an unstable agreement with the witches to strengthen their goal and attempt to stop a supernatural war. The series features 5 fantastic seasons, each of which sets the plot for the next one. The story is highly absorbing, making you feel linked to the characters and cheer for them. Although the show loses a bit of consistency in later seasons and undermines certain characters, it picks up later and wraps up the plot in an emotional and heartwarming way. Number 6. See. It is a sci-fi action-adventure series created by Stephen Knight. This is the least discussed science fiction show in recent years, and relatively few people are aware of it. Apple TV Plus is best known for its expensive, one-of-a-kind sci-fi shows, and this one, too, has a terrific sci-fi theme and mind-boggling visuals. The series takes place in a post-apocalyptic society in a far-off future, in which the human race's successors have completely lost their power to see. The events of C take place a few generations later, by which point humanity has developed new strategies for interacting with others, building, hunting, and surviving with no eyesight. The major plot focuses on the Alchemy leader, Baba Voss, the father of the twins, and the guardian of his community. However, when news gets out that some kids have been born with sight, it leads to a witch hunt for them, and Baba Voss has to defend both his loved ones and his clan from the Queen's powerful army. The show's 3 seasons offer an enjoyable viewing experience with their exciting action, unique story, strong cast, and unexpected twists. Number 5. The Night Manager. It is a spy thriller series directed by Susanne Bier. The story centers on Jonathan Pine, a night manager at a 5-star hotel, and an ex-British officer who is hired by Angela Burr, the head of a foreign ministry task team looking into unauthorized arms transactions, to break into mysterious individual Richard Roper's closest network. To carry out his appointed duty, Pine pretends to be a convict in order to enter Roper's personal circle, keeping his goal hidden from his hotel co-workers and girlfriend. His objective is to uncover evidence connecting Richard Roper to criminal multinational weapons businesses, but things change and make his work more challenging. The plot is masterfully created, and the gripping espionage narrative is full of surprising turns and revelations that keep the audience interested and wondering from the start until the very end. The outstanding direction and cinematography elevate the drama to an entirely different level, with their breathtaking scenes and chaotic ambience. It is a 6-episode miniseries that lacks some of the major action that viewers might expect from spy thrillers, but the acting and compelling plot are what set the series apart, making it a must-see for fans of the genre. Number 4. Babylon, Berlin. It is a period thriller series created by Tom Tykwer, Achim von Boris. The series unfolds in 1929 in Berlin and tells the story of police investigator Jerian Rath, who is on an undercover assignment to bust a corruption racket and crack a mystery concerning the Berlin gang. But when he gets there, Jerian is shocked, as what initially seems to be a straightforward bribery case quickly develops into an incident that will completely alter the destiny of both Jerian and his closest companions. Rath, together with his co-workers, Bruno Wolter and Charlotte Ritter, encounters a complex web of criminal activity involving the illicit trade of guns, drugs, and corrupt officials. This encounter drives Rath to the brink of insanity, as he must choose between his allegiance and his quest for the truth about what is happening. The show is extremely classy and fascinating, and it includes a combination of unusual characters and a wonderful city setting, as well as great CGI visuals that are truly remarkable. The series is a fine representation of a historical piece that blends noir and romance to keep you entertained. Although the story moves slowly, it is still worthwhile. Number 3. Kingdom. It is an historical horror series created by Kim Yoon-hee. This is the best zombie horror show of all time, and every episode is a great work of storytelling. The primary advantage of this is its unique take on a usual zombie storyline, which is considerably more interesting than conventional zombie show narratives. You'll be completely hooked on this show from the moment you start watching. The drama takes place in the 16th century and revolves around Li Chang, the prince, who is trying to unravel the mystery of his father's health while simultaneously attempting to learn more about the strange illness that has recently affected the entire country. While conducting his inquiry, he becomes trapped in a catastrophic epidemic and struggles to preserve the nation from the disease while simultaneously preventing his political rivals from capturing the throne. The show had 2 seasons and 1 prequel film that explored the history of the virus that was the root of the kingdom's conflict. This show shines in every genre: horror, action, suspense, and mystery, especially the fantastic political aspect and crazy twists. Number 2. 3%. It is a dystopian sci-fi thriller series created by Pedro Aguilera. This is likely the most underrated Netflix series, and if you enjoy dystopian fiction, you'll absolutely love this one. The show closed its 4-season run in a pleasing manner. The series is set in the distant future, where the young inhabitants of the underdeveloped inland have just one chance to finish the process, a series of tests, and move up to the prosperous offshore civilization. The process is a strict and laborious procedure that connects the 2 sectors, offshore and inland. However, the test is not quite as simple as it first appears, and participants are unaware of the twists that will impact them in the most unexpected ways. Only 3% of the applicants ultimately succeed, while the majority of failing candidates are simply rejected. In the first season, the intriguing question of why just 3% survive will keep you curious, and the following season's additional events will keep you excited. The show is a strong, convincing, and captivating dystopian story with an amazing concept that is worth your attention. Number 1. Barry. It is a crime drama series created by Alec Berg and Bill Hader. The show completed its mind-blowing journey with an explosive finale in its final 4th season, which premiered on May 28, 2023. The show focuses on hitman Barry Berkman, a former soldier who struggles with loneliness, desperation, and remorse as a result of his way of life and his deeds while in the military. On his most recent operation, he goes to Los Angeles with the intention of killing an intended target, but when he pursues that individual into a theater class, he discovers an unexpected sense of motivation. To finish the work, he enrolls in the class, but his original intention is derailed when he chooses to pursue acting as a way to deal with his fears and begin a new life. However, difficulties arise as he tries to put his former life behind him and hide it from newfound acquaintances and coworkers, while his old boss, Futches, won't let him leave. Over the course of 3 seasons, Barry has taken its concept to ever darker levels, where Barry Berkman's kill count rises, his quest for forgiveness becomes more and more out of reach, as he ruthlessly eliminates anybody who may become aware of his secret history as a murderer. The tone of the show transformed over the seasons, leaning more and more towards the bizarre as things got out of hand. It is a masterpiece of storytelling and a show that everyone should watch. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.